Time on the water is sacred. It's why you're here. To gain confidence in your abilities and unlock the world of water for yourself, your family, and your friends. Hi, I'm Adrian.
And I'm Karen. Together, we're going to walk you through the basics of boating so you can experience the joy and the freedom of being out on the water and go boldly into each adventure that comes your way.
Safety should be built into your boating plans. The goal is to keep everyone safe and maximize the time you get on the water.
Some safety measures and tools are required by law, while others should be required by your own standards. Local regulations will vary between states and may also vary from U.S. Coast Guard regulations, which we primarily focus on here.
And whether required in your area or not, we highly recommend completing a boater safety training course to gain as much confidence as possible for your time on the water.
By law, most boats are required to have an emergency stop switch, often called a kill switch. The driver must be connected to the switch by a cord when operating the boat on plane or above displacement speed. We recommend having it attached anytime the boat is in gear.
U.S. Coast Guard approved personal flotation devices, or PFDs, are a must, one for every person on board. You should also have a throwable PFD readily accessible.
The U.S. Coast Guard requires children under 13 years of age to wear a PFD while a vessel is underway, though age requirements vary between states. We recommend that children of any age wear a PFD while underway, and that young children wear one even when the boat isn't in gear.
If you have built-in fuel tanks, you need a marine use fire extinguisher. Some states even require a fire extinguisher for portable fuel tanks on board. And all vessels must have an efficient sound-producing device, a loud whistle, or a waterproof air horn.
When the sun sets or visibility is impaired, both bow and stern navigation lights must be used. Distress signals or flares are must-haves. It's good practice to carry 3 of each daytime and nighttime flares.
Beyond equipment required by law, the list of safety gear should include a comprehensive first aid kit.
One of the more important safety considerations is communication. Cell phone coverage tends to be spotty on the water, so the VHF radio is your main lifeline. Even if one is already installed on your boat, keep a spare handheld VHF radio on board.
While not required, a reliable GPS and an EPIRB are at the top of the list of extra safety tools to have. A GPS provides your exact location, and in worst-case scenarios, an EPIRB, which is an emergency beacon, will transmit your exact location to rescue stations.
In addition to your bow and stern lines, keep extra dock lines and a couple of fenders stowed on board. Whether they're used for your own needs or for another boater in need, these will come in handy.
It's basically a proverb at this point. Never leave home without your anchor. It's not just for the fun stuff. If there's an emergency, the anchor will keep you from drifting into hazards.
Safety considerations extend beyond the tools you carry to the provisions you pack. Always bring more water and food than you intend to drink and eat. Bring sunscreen and weather-specific clothing. If the sun is beating down or it rains and the temperature drops, you'll be prepared with appropriate clothing to protect you from the elements.
Now back to the tools. You don't want to let a loose screw end your day prematurely, so keep a well-stocked toolbox on board. It seems like a lot to remember, but having a checklist and keeping everything organized makes safety prep a breeze. Here's another rundown of what you should have on board, and you can add to it as you see fit.
A crucial safety precaution is your float plan. Tell someone where you're going and when you plan to be back. Include a description of your vessel, registration number, and how many people will be on board, including their names.
Before leaving the dock, make sure your bilge pumps are operational, that your main battery is charged, and that you have more than enough fuel.
Every boat has its weight limit, which must be respected by law and for your safety and the safety of your passengers.
Once everyone is on board, guide them through the safety equipment and where it's all located. Before throttling up and taking off, make sure everyone is settled in and ready.
Your safety can depend upon conditions as much as it does anything else. Always check the weather before your trip and monitor the VHF radio broadcast throughout the day. And always, when in doubt, don't go out.
It's worth keeping another checklist to make sure you're covering each step and incorporating safety into your day on the water.
All this considered, you've prepared for the worst, and now it's time to plan for the best. With your safety game on point, you can enjoy peace of mind on the water while making lifelong memories with your family and friends.
Thanks for taking time on this episode of Freshwater Boating Basics, presented by Mercury Marine.